Saudi Cap, everybody. It's Niall in Thailand here, and I'm a little hungover today. Last night was a bit of a crazy night. Hopefully I'll have some decent enough footage that I can do a video for it. It was another pub crawl night, and I was out with Crying Bee. We'll see what the footage is like. I'm not sure I got good footage last night because we did a pub crawl in Nana Plaza area, and the bar managers were anal about the whole no camera policy. Like, you know, we got told off a few times. Let's discuss my visa woes. So this was quite a hairy couple of days. Like, we had two really stressful days this week where I was going to, you know, extend my visa. So the policy here in Thailand, up until prior to the COVID-19 situation, the policy has been a TR visa is your tourist visa. That's good for 60 days. You can extend it by another 30 days once you're here. Then you have to leave the country. You go off, you can go to Cambodia, go to Laos, go to Vietnam, wherever you want to go. I would normally go to Laos, get a new TR visa there. That's what you do. So you go to the Thai immigration in Vientiane, you get another 60-day visa there, then you can come back, extend that again by another 30 days, and then my policy would be to go home. So that was like my 6 months here and 6 months back home. Since COVID, you can't leave the country. You know, it's just such a hassle to leave and to come back. So they just basically did away with the whole having to leave thing, and they've been giving what they're calling COVID visas. So you go to the your immigration center here in Bangkok or wherever you are in Thailand, and you just apply for a further 60-day visa. So they stamp your passport, they give you a further 60 days extension on top of your current visa. So I've been kind of staying here since February on that system. So I got my initial 60-day TR visa, I extended it by 30 days the first time, and then every time since then it's been a 60-day visa. However, the last time I was here, there was a bit of confusion. I was under the impression that I was good for 90 days. I thought that they changed the system. I even made a YouTube Shorts video about it, saying they've changed the system. It's now a 90-day visa. That turned out to be bad information. So this is entirely my fault, by the way. I have to take full responsibility for it. All of this could have been avoided if I just looked inside my passport and seen what the stamp said. I didn't do that. You know what I mean? What happened was I had a conversation with the visa agent, or the immigration agent, I should say, and he basically said, like, you know, you don't need to come back here to do your next report. You can go to your local, immigration center or whatever it is, like, you know. So I was like, okay, and he just said, so you have 90 days to do that. And I was like, 90 days? It's usually a 60. Like, why would I do it in 90 days? It's a 60-day thing, like, you know. And he's like, no, 90 days. And I was like, okay, sweet. Like, you know, I just took that to mean that they've changed the visa situation to 90 days because I had never done a 90-day report. You know, there was no need. Like, you know, once you left the country, you're pretty much on a new visa when you come back. So you never had to do a 90-day report. So when he said that to me, I just took that to mean that they've changed the TR visas from 60 days to 90 days. That was not the case. I still only had a 60-day TR visa, but I had I had to do a 90-day report. So I was like, you know, when he said that to me, he gave me a receipt saying, you know, check in 29th of November or before. And I was like, okay, cool. So I don't need to come back until the end of November. And then, you know, they said, there was a report saying that 26th of November is the extension to get your final COVID visa. So I said, well, I better go before then. Even though I'm good until the 29th, I better go on like the 24th or 25th or something. So that's what I did. I went on the 24th. And, you know, I was just, you know, the usual thing. I have the video up of the process. Call my number, I went in, and, you know, I just sit down and give the woman my passport. And she opens it, and the first thing she says is, oh, you've overstayed. And I was like, what do you mean I overstayed? I'm here early, like, you know, I'm actually back here, I think it's 5 days early at this point. She said, no, like, your stamp says the October 30th. And I seen it, and true enough, that's what it said. I hadn't looked at it, you know what I mean? It just, when the guy said it was good till November 29th, and when I got the receipt saying November 29th, I just assumed I don't need to come back until the end of November. So, you know, the ironic thing is, if the guy never said that to me, I would have been back the end of October, because that's what I know to do. That's the way it's always been. It's always been a 60-day policy. So just as a result of, that, the guy telling me, you need to do a check-in on 29th November and seeing the receipt for 29th November, it sent me down the wrong path. Basically, I just had bad information that I was acting on. And, so I went, basically I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes, we're at 6 minutes already. So basically, long story short was I'd overstayed my visa by 25 days up to that point. And she said, your fine is going to be 12,500 baht. And, I was like, okay. And she said, you also, before I can grant you a new visa, I need to see your flight home. I need to see that you've booked a flight to leave. And at that point, I had no intention of going home in January. So I was like, okay, well, I haven't done that. She's like, well, I need to see that, you want a new visa. So I just said, well, look, I need to get this sorted. She's like, I also need to see your TM30. Again, I hadn't got that done. There was issues with that. I'll go into that in a minute. So anyway, I got a taxi back to the condo. I didn't have the receipt thing saying 29th November. I just grabbed that and I was like, look, let's go back and see if we can explain the situation. We went back that same day with the receipt. I showed it to her and she said, yeah, but it says in your passport October 30th. And I don't know what you want me to tell you. You've overstayed. And she's like, I understand that you're confused and I understand this is a mistake. I understand you didn't do this maliciously, but there's nothing I can do about it. You've overstayed. You need to pay the fine. And I didn't so much have a problem with the fine. It was more the initial confusion about it all. Plus, the policy here in Thailand is that if you overstay by 30 days, automatic, you have to leave and you're banned for a year. No talking your way out of that either. So another 4 days and I would have been gone. So anyway, I just said, well, look, I'm not going to be able to do this today. I need to book a flight. I need to contact my landlady to get the TM30 thing. And we said, I'll be back tomorrow. So we went back to the condo. I booked a flight, got onto our landlady. She sent us over the information related to the TM30. Then we went back the next day, had the details, the reservation for the flight. We had the details relating to the TM30. And I took out the 15,000 baht to pay for what would now be a 13,000 baht fine because it was an additional day on top of the 20. So it's, it became 26 days instead of 25 days. So I took out 13,000 baht to pay the fine and 1,900 baht to pay the visa fee. And we had our TM30. I had my I had my reservation to fly home. And then she said, your TM30 says that you're staying in Opeda Place in Pattaya. And I was like, no, I stayed there for a few days, like 6 weeks ago or something. And she said, no, it says you've never been booked out. So it says here that you're still there or something like that. So again, she was like, this is no good. You're going to need to get your landlady to do a more current TM30, letting us know that you're staying in the condo in Bangkok. So again, more stress. We had to get on to the landlady and she was like, I can't do it for you right now. I'm working. And I was like, well, I need it right now. We're in immigration right now. We need it immediately. She's like, look, give me a few hours. So, we went down, we got some coffee, we're sitting around. It took, I think she sent it to us in about 2 hours later. So we went back up after lunch and gave him the information, gave him the new TM30, paid the fine, and she issued me my 60-day visa. So I'm good now until the end of January. And they have extended the COVID visas again. So I can apply for another one at the end of January and just, change the reservation on my flight, which is what I'm probably going to do. Guys, only information I can tell you is read everything. Information in the passport is the most important thing. The receipt thing it's not as important as the passport. So just make sure you do that. Don't let that happen to you. It was a silly mistake on my part, and it was an expensive mistake on my part. Just when you're here, try to avoid doing those kinds of silly mistakes. Okay, touch it all later, guys. Cheers.